It appears to be that a genuine show could unfurl in the Harvey family. Simply envision Steve Harvey is anxious about the possibility that he could fail, and on the off chance that happens, will his better half Marjorie stay with him? And this isn't a trepidation in light of the fact that, as Steve himself concedes, she has proactively left him in the past due to cash. Hello, don't allow this section to wreck out man. Hey everybody, I'm Leah. And today discussing's possibly going down in the Harvey family. Currently you've seen him on Instagram, enjoying life to the fullest, displaying their extravagance excursions and planner dads. Yet as everything is ready as it appears, I have some insider news that recommends there may be inconvenience. Fermenting could Steve's anxiety toward Chapter 11 split apart him and Marjorie. Will be Marjorie prepared to escape on the off chance that the cash runs out, or is everything murmurs and bits of gossip? So we should get everything rolling now. Our man, Steve, you know him, the consistently grinning, quick-talking host of Family Quarrel, is supposedly very frightened about something. And it's anything but another improv show. Supposedly stays fretting about the chance of going belly up, bankrupt, poverty, stricken, destitute. You get the image. Clearly Steve's terrified that his monetary boat may be sinking, and kid, not the cash has him tense. Clutch your caps. Since here's where it gets fascinating, there's discussion, in and out of town, that Marjorie may very well escape, assuming Steve winds up in a very difficult situation. Presently does that ring a bell on the off chance that you've been following the Harveys? You'll recall that Marjorie left Steve once before when he was out for the count. When Steve was battling and destitute, Marjorie was good and gone. Yet how do I have at least some idea this, you could ask? Well, my dependable insider acts the hero of this source near Steve. Let the cat out of the bag about his feelings of dread. And it's not only a passing remark, people, it appears to he's been trusting in his companions about his interests, about his funds, and his marriage. As he said, Steve's been sharing his concerns that cash is not streaming like it used to. And he's concerned Marjorie won't keep close, by assuming that the lap of luxury evaporates now. Before fiendish reasoning, it's all pessimism for our man. How about we turn the focus on Marjorie? Word on the road on account of another insider is that Marjorie's partying hard, big-time extravagance, excursions, fashion, or shopping binges, and so on. She's doing it. Marjorie isn't one to save every possible dollar. And that is about certain individuals talking a nearby shore of the Harvey family emerged with the humdinger Marjorie doesn't appear to understand, or perhaps doesn't have any desire to recognize the critical waterways they may be in. She's carrying on with life sovereign size, cool as a cucumber. Might you at any point accept that while Steve's spreading about potential liquidation, Marjorie is in the middle of selecting her next creator satchel? So people, there you have it. The huge scoop on the Harvey family shows Steve stressed over losing everything. And in addition to his money, Marjorie then again is by all accounts flooding on a haze of guilty pleasure. Are we taking a gander at a rehash of history? Or is there more going on than might be expected? I met her 86, 87. When the two came out, then God gave her back to me in 2005. After the entirety of Steve's feelings of trepidation didn't appear unexpectedly. I'm going as far as possible back to when Steve Harvey was not the Steve Harvey we know today, when he was only a striving comic fighting the unforgiving real factors of life. And not too far off in that frame of mind of his battles was Marjorie. Picture this: our person, Steve, destitute, poverty stricken, yet not sad. He had dreams greater than his world. And close by him was Marjorie. However, at that point, people, in Steve's hardest hour, Marjorie was abruptly good and gone, very much like that. Poof, she was gone. Makes you wonder, right? Yet stand by, there's an unexpected development. When Steve's karma at last turned and he began to see the achievement, he buckled down for think about who came walking around into the image. That's right, you got it, Marjorie, and these aren't simply reports. Steve himself let it out. And it appears he doesn't actually find it bizarre that his darling lady left him in a troublesome second and returned just when he had tackled every one of the issues himself and Marjorie. isn't the honest little sheep she claims to be. She has a ton of dim spots in her past. Marjorie has been hitched 2 times before Steve. And think about what both her exes were: sentenced street pharmacists, weighty stuff, right? Not your generally common, terrible young men. Yet genuine bona fide drug masters. At one point, our woman Marjorie was squarely in the center of an out-and-out FBI examination. They were diving profound into conceivable contribution in her ex's unlawful medication-dealing exercises. A shut source uncovered this sensation. Marjorie was somewhere down in the medication scene. She wasn't a spectator. This carries us to the consuming inquiry. Did Marjorie help out the policing? Roads are talking. And they're saying that Marjorie could have given a break to take care of herself. No charges were brought against her, and she left the examination without any consequences to conceal her previous. I go into the book. I've gone through Marjorie's past, her past relationships, her unforeseen exit from Steve's life during his difficult situations, and her significantly, seriously astonishing return. When the portion began moving in, does Marjorie have an uncanny sense for when to keep close by, and when a skedaddle we realized she was gone. When Steve was living in his vehicle, attempting to really establish himself, yet the moment Steve tasted achievement, she was back in the image occurrence, perhaps, or might it, at any point, be a determined move. Currently, we should just hit stop briefly here and consider this Steve's as of now concerned about failing. And who could fault him right yet? Here's the trick: he's not stressed over losing his cash, he's frightened of losing Marjorie. History has an approach to rehashing the same thing, doesn't it? Kid you not, the very first word I shared with her was, I don't have the foggiest idea what your identity is. Nevertheless, I will wed you one day. My source said this. Steve's terrified that Marjorie will bolt on the off chance that he fails. He recollects what happened last time he had no cash, and it torment him. So what's going on with Marjorie? Is her adoration for Steve? No doubt, or is everything about the Benjamins hard to say? Yet the past appears to recount a story. It murmurs clues and hints that are difficult to disregard with her past connections, the manner in which she bailed when Steve was doing pretty bad, and the gossipy tidbits about her high-moving way of life. You can't resist the urge to contemplate whether her heart has a place with Steve or his wallet. Another inquiry emerges: doesn't Steve notice it? He's not visually impaired. After all, in addition, in his show, he frequently offers significant family guidance and presents himself as a dependable family man and Christian. Everyone in here about your butt, if it's not too much trouble. Comprehend that about the manner in which I love you, Marjorie Elaine. Could it at any point be conceivable that he doesn't see the genuine embodiment of Marjorie when every one of the fans and media are as of now discussing it? Or is Steve himself not without shortcoming now? Companions, how about we flip this story and cast our focus on Steve Harvey himself? Gracious, yes, our man isn't all perfect, possibly. I've been so bustling taking a gander at Marjorie that I scarcely started to expose what's underneath on Steve. We should begin with a few prattle from the grapevine about Steve and loyalty. Or would it be a good idea for me, I say, the deficiency in that department tales have whirled about him having a meandering eye? As a matter of fact, it's